So unless you take care of Panchabhutas without spoiling them, polluting them, or if you are an engineer, how do you reduce the pollution? We may have to do some problem because in your engineering, you have to select the right materials, right process, right services. Okay. Go to the next one. I am trying to put the context first. No, the other video. Yeah.
And planet Earth are facing serious
Very much sound
challenges
subject.
due to climate change. Our actions are needed to alleviate these challenges and preserve the planet for both current and future generations.
You have seen 47 degrees, 52 degrees. What is your engineering solution, thermal engineers? My question. Have you got a solution? I have got a solution as a research project. See, people are suffering from heat. One engineering college guy from Ahmedabad, what he did for the traffic police at 47 degrees, he designed a helmet, he designed a cool fan run by a battery. I have given him an additional idea of a wet band so that it evaporative cooling, his head is cool. He is standing on the road. People are not going on the road. See, maybe your area is cool, but as an engineer responsible, mechanical, electrical, whatever it is, what can we do for heat resilience? What can we do for floods if I am a civil engineer? You understand? So these are the topics. Now we are also facing light pollution. All of us are busy. So single-use plastics. What biomaterials can be combined with cornstarch? What can we do for single-use bags? What happens is the other day, I don't know, somebody was telling, when you travel on bridges and all, some women were throwing the bangles into the river, like they throw the coins, and those bangles are going into the fish mouth, like what you throw plastic is going into the cow thing. This is what is happening. It may not affect you today, but what as engineers, now this is about the general public is concerned, but as engineers for industry, for you to get jobs, what is it we can do? Is what is the topic of the day? That is the engineering side of it. You can all hear me? Yes. Data centers example. What is the kind of heat we have got? So one gentleman in Delhi, what he has done adiabatic cooling behind a data center to reduce the heat. So temperature control is one of the problems. Okay, let's get on to this. From the engineering point of view, go first one please. First slide. Next. Okay. Next. Okay. I have asked many engineering colleges to define what is engineering. Many did not answer me. Any students? They said creative application. You ask your guys in the engineering college to define what is the definition of engineering. I am telling you honestly, out of experience. I am giving you the answer as a practicing engineering man. Engineering is nothing but DBT and research. Design, build and test. Either you become a good designer, or you become a good builder who can physically do things, or you are a good tester, or you are a good research professional. One should decide out of your students, break them 40 fellows. Are you good in research? Have you got an innovative brain? Or you are able to make something yourself? Not an electrical engineer without knowing how to put a fuse or MCB or ELCB or RCCB. They don't know what it is. Like a civil engineer who cannot build a house. He doesn't know the building materials practically. He has not gone and seen, but he gets a degree. So what I am trying to say is, engineering is you prepare students to become good designers or good builders or good test people or research people. That is what is the meaning of DBT. Then, in sustainability as far as product is concerned, you should use fewer materials. In industry, we want to reduce the cost. We want to reduce the time. We want to reduce the harm we are doing out of our process of chemicals, our effluents. You all understand? Is there anything difficult? Are you able to get me?
Yes, sir.
Or please, if you don't understand, raise your hand. Otherwise, you will miss and then it will not be a. No, I don't want that. Now, as far as the product we are making should not be hazardous. Like somebody says, I got a mosquito coil, but the smell is equal to 100 cigarettes. Then is that a product we should do? Then the research expert will come and say, add this component into that and make that less hazardous. So if we are making the hazardous things, then how do we reduce the hazard? What is the chemical composition? And that is society. You understand? So not only the Panchabhutas, the society. If you want to be a responsible engineer, you are a good designer, good builder, good tester, good research man. But at the same time, if I am designing a car brake, the braking distance is 10 feet. If it stops at 15 feet, it will going to hit the people. Isn't that? If I am making a capsule and my dosing of the material is more by 5%, it will have side effect. So what are we doing? We need to look into the design thinking, whether you are a civil engineer or a lead specialist, all these issues to be considered as an engineer. This is called sustainable engineering. Engineering friendly to sustainability so that it is safe, less hazardous, less polluting to the atmosphere, creating less floods because of us, our bad designs. We have got floods. In Cochin, when I went to ask what is the problem, lot of water. Then I said, have you mapped the area? Where is the slope? Who did the mapping? No, we will build the buildings. See, most of the reasons are the government to do. But as engineers, we are in the industry. Because your job, people should go not only for higher studies, they should go to industry. And industry, why they should do this, not only for getting proper money, their reputation will build if they are doing safe products. You understand? So safety comes into play, health comes into play. This is all called sustainability. Then as far as the product is concerned, for sustainable products should be using less energy. Okay? Dispersing low volume of toxins. This is for the chemical friends. Improved recyclability. Then what is called circularity? No wastage. So what are the 4-5 elements of sustainability? Energy, water, waste. These are few things which are key topics in sustainability. It should be recyclable. Why we got 98% is coal? That is the problem in India today. But what is its alternate? Renewable energy. In renewable energy, operation, maintenance, all come under picture as engineers. To reduce the cost, to reduce the time. Renewable resources, extended life, temperature control. I am touching some points for you to consider. You have a curriculum already, but next please. Look at this. LCA stands for life cycle assessment. Primarily it is impact on environment. That is the measurement for which IBM, all guys are now have measuring tools they are trying to sell. TCS, Infosys, everybody is in this game now. Now plastic. Why plastic? I told you. Microplastics. Many have not heard of what is called tire pollution in automotive. When the tire runs, it is more than the tailpipe pollution. Tailpipe pollution is the car pollution which you know, carbon dioxide. But when the tire runs on the road, particles are there. They are in the air. Microplastics, micro tire. If you know the composition of how tire is made, 28% of a tire is carbon black. Carbon black comes from fossil fuels. Carbon black comes from biomaterials. So the whole focus of sustainability is making use of biomaterials. I also happen to be in the governing body of Bamboo Society of India. One of the most powerful sustainable materials. Once you put a bamboo plant, life is 90 years. You cut, it keeps coming. Bamboo produces 35% oxygen. The oxygen available in the atmosphere is 21%. Balance is nitrogen. But if you go to a city center, Bangalore, it will not be more than 17% if you take an oximeter and check the oxygen there. So when bamboo produces 35% oxygen, like any other plants, you should have bamboo there, either tunnel form, arch form or whatever it is. I told this to Chennai government the other day, whenever they wanted to have a shade at the traffic signal in 45 degrees where scooter fellows are standing, the heat is on the head. So they are now putting a cover so that there is a tree shade. So how do you use a tree for shade, for oxygen or carbon dioxide taking or reduction of particle matter? These three are important, carbon dioxide, oxygen, so it becomes an oxygenator. So products like air purifiers, ionizers, these all come into play. These become products of sustainable engineering. What companies are doing, like Volvo and all, now they are putting vision cameras to find out an idle cycle in the factory. Who is wasting time is being captured. Which operation is bad is being captured. You get my point? This is what the industry is doing. So if you know the principles of basic things, energy, water, waste, these are the topics of focus in sustainable engineering. Then you get an idea. With what is called materiality assessment, it depends on industry to industry. The chemical factory problem is different. Automobile factory problem is different. Their raw materials are different. Next. Now, how are we connecting the sustainable development goals to sustainable engineering? I have told you all the 17 principles. I am not repeating. That is slide number 1, which you can see in internet. Whatever I am saying, you can go through ChatGPT and you find out, go into details. Okay? In the available international information, I am adding my analysis and giving you some juice. Waste reduction is a very, very important thing actually. Like a olden days tailor, you know. Somebody says you take 2 meters cloth, somebody says 1 meter is enough. You know. And some cloth is left, you make a kerchief out of it. So how do you reuse? That's why the principles come as 5 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. The 2 more are there. Refuse and Red Cross. I will tell you. I may have 200 shirts in that shelf. I never use it. I am wasting my place. To make a cloth, how much chemical is required? How much water is required? But this is a culture, this is a thinking. But I am not asking you to be a philosopher here. I am only trying to tell you what is the engineering story of it. What can we do as engineers to reduce carbon, to reduce energy, to reduce water, to reduce waste. These are 5 elements of sustainability. Is that okay? We refer that. Which number is what? So if you have done this, you have completed your sustainable development goals. You are a part as an institution or as a nation. So today what is called ESG has become important, compulsory mandate in every company in India. Not only 1,000 top companies like BOSCH or Hyundai or Murthy or anything. Any company, MRPL. And also to their value chain. Value chain means their suppliers. It's a mandate. Since it is a mandate, E is for environment, S for social. That means whatever products you are manufacturing, how it is affecting the society. And as a sustainable engineer, his whole game is focusing on design, operation maintenance, and of course research is a part of element everywhere, because without research you can't innovate. You need to know the current situation, you need to have a goal where you want to reach. The question is, how do we reach? It's only through research. I am only connecting sustainability into the 17 goals. Everybody talks of goals, but what part of engineering is connected with it is what I am trying to show you in these two slides. Is that okay? This can be referred for you. I am leaving things to you. But in principle, if you have a doubt, you can stop me. Next. Go to the film. That is, I hope it works. Does it come? Open. Okay? Or you call somebody who can handle this. They are interesting videos, we should not miss. Okay, before they do that repair work, now I am inviting questions. What is not understood in sustainability? Please speak loud.
Sir, as you discussed,
You don't have that.
as you give a small example like a glass bangle going to the rivers. Now,
That one my wife told me. I don't know.
now,
I did not know that. I thought only coins are thrown.
that is also a one concern. Along with that, the bottles,
Water bottle.
water bottles along with the glass bottles. Earlier they were using. Now we have collected nearby surrounding areas many bottles, small bottles. Now the plan to give the scrap or recycle. Scrap people are telling they cannot use it because they are not purchased by them. So what we have to do with this bottle? Now where do we have to give this bottle?
You start out as a manager. I am not giving an answer for that. If your glass fellow is not taking how to do it, you handle it. That is not like sustainable engineering.
Okay.
If a fellow is not listening to you, where to get a scrap like that, you find out.
Large number of chemical products which store carbon separately,
Is it okay?
as well as the
1
carbon
minute, I'll come back.
itself.
Good question. From beginning. You must be a
Fuel, recently thousands of projects. Bamboo can be an important carbon sink in storing more carbon in certain kinds of tree. This is because it can be harvested quickly, creating.
first one you did not
In
change.
early October, the United Nations declared
Industry may become impatient when work is not done. That is our weakness. That's how I tell people. Our tolerance is very less in industry. Yeah, so now I.
If you look at the 10 hottest years ever measured, they've all occurred in the last 14 years. And the hottest of all was 2005. increases are taking place all over the world, and that's causing stronger storms.
Early this morning,
2 days back there was a Tennessee, there was a
Is it possible that we should prepare against other threats besides terrorists?
From Paramount Classics comes a film that has shocked audiences everywhere they've seen it.
The Arctic is experiencing faster melt. If this were to go, sea level worldwide would go up 20 feet.
that adds to the water and sea comes forward.
Around Shanghai, home to 40 million people.
Maybe you are
The
more
area
to say.
of 60 million. Here's Manhattan. The World Trade Center Memorial would be underwater. Think of the impact of a couple 100,000 refugees, and then imagine 100 million. We have to act together to solve this global crisis. Our ability to live is what is at stake.
The film name is Inconvenient Truth. This came 30 years back. Okay, next one please. Yeah.
Life, humanity, and planet Earth are facing serious challenges due to climate change. Our actions alone can mitigate these challenges and preserve the planet for both current and future generations. Many nations are aiming to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius. The goal also includes commitments to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 or 2070. Climate change and its impact on life and planet Earth are the consequences of the Industrial Revolution initiated by humans and characterized by unsustainable, excessive, and unnecessary consumption. The Industrial Revolution, which
We
began in the
consume
late
more than
18th century,
required.
introduced new ways
We
of
produce
manufacturing
worthless
goods,
things.
generating
No habit.
electricity,
So
and
sustainable
building
engineering has to
infrastructure like
tell
roads and buildings.
in his
However,
department.
these advancements relied heavily on burning fossil fuels, leading to increased pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, widespread deforestation to make way for industrial activity contributed to the rise in carbon dioxide levels, exacerbating climate change and global warming. When you cut a tree, you are eliminating the carbon sink and, in turn, the oxygen generator for you to live. Single-use plastics contribute to environmental pollution and waste due to their short lifespan and limited recycling capabilities.
So how can we reduce plastic and do alternate materials? That is engineering.
Advertising annual model changes to spur customer purchases, regardless of necessity. Many
Because there is a
purchase
sale,
flows
we will
for
buy
one-time
10
use,
sets.
contributing to 10% of global carbon emissions.
So it's a culture.
Discarding edible food as food waste intensifies environmental issues,
Wasting food.
including heightened greenhouse gas emissions, resource depletion, and biodiversity loss. Unnecessary lighting contributes to a significant environmental issue, resulting in substantial carbon emissions. The overindulgence in social media, with individuals incessantly sharing reels solely to garner likes for personal gain, coupled with the proliferation of free services, leads to a vast accumulation of data in online storage facilities. Unfortunately, much of this data remains untouched by users beyond its immediate necessity, contributing to the expansion of energy-intensive data centers. The creation of sustainable, eco-friendly data centers hinges on users adopting responsible data consumption practices, prioritizing the storage of essential information and promptly deleting unnecessary data. Climate action challenges involve creating awareness and enabling sustainable practices through behavioral, systemic, and design changes in responsible consumption. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which were finalized on September 25, 2015, during a historic United Nations summit in New York, marked the adoption of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development by all 193 member states of the United Nations. These goals serve as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all by 2030. They were crafted to address a range of global challenges, encompassing poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. The true impact of meeting sustainable development goals is hindered by various factors, including lack of awareness, unnecessary consumption of products and services, wastage, inequality, greed and corruption, excessive inventory stocking, disposal of goods as waste, accumulation of excessive wealth by a few, denial of services to the impoverished or assistance to the poor, war and excessive weapons stockpiling, environmental degradation, lack of access to education and healthcare, commercialization of education and healthcare, siphoning of government, welfare, grant, and public donations by some middlemen and NGOs. Population growth exceeds the capacity of infrastructure and support systems. Finally, ego and a don't care attitude lead to the mindset of, it's not for me.
Don't care attitude.
The first conference of the parties, COP, meeting took place in Berlin, Germany, from March 28th to April 7th, 1995. What do nations promise at COP meetings every year? Our nation pledges to achieve net zero by 2050 or 2070. This commitment is made by the government on behalf of the people, businesses, and their stakeholders. However, do people understand what a carbon footprint is and why their consumption contributes to it? Net zero or carbon neutral refers to achieving a balance between the amount of carbon dioxide, CO2, emissions released into the atmosphere and the amount of CO2 removed from the atmosphere or offset through various measures. Governments and businesses alone cannot fully solve the environmental challenges to meet the net zero target, even with regulatory compliance, carbon credits, incentives, and carbon taxes, unless it becomes mandatory for all, including students, employees, and individuals. Too many fail to grasp or choose to disregard this reality. It's akin to a dangerous act. You, as individuals, consume without consequence, while we heap pressure on corporations, big and small, to meet the SDG goals. The fate of achieving propel our nation towards the vital goal of net zero, safeguarding the future of our precious planet Earth. Do you know your carbon footprint? One step by everyone, a giant leap by mankind. Join the green revolution. Step towards actionable sustainability.
Your daily actions and activities induce carbon emissions, CO2, into the environment when you use electricity, gas, petrol, diesel, waste food, or dispose of waste, use water, and purchase clothing, shoes, etc.
Your small actions every day will result in a giant leap for mankind to save this planet Earth for current and future generations, just as every drop of water counts and every action counts to combat climate change. Together, we can make a significant difference in preserving the environment for generations to come.
Except for humanity practice sustainability through responsible consumption, and this is the root cause of global warming and climate change. Many are only talking about sustainability and climate action, but do not practice sustainability in their personal lives and business-related consumption.
Mars, the closest planet to Earth, is seen as potentially habitable by scientists. Despite lacking key conditions for human life, such as a breathable atmosphere and abundant water, the journey to Mars takes around 6 to 9 months. However, while Mars holds promise, it remains a distant goal. It may or may not materialize, accessible only to a few who can afford it. Think again. The simple solution is to facilitate rapid awareness building and widespread adoption through mobile apps,
Remember this: coal, steel, oil, plastic, and wood. How do we reduce the steel? I am going to tell you. Why reduce steel usage? Not complete, wherever possible. To produce steel, you require high energy. To get high energy, we got all thermal power with carbon, with coal. So wherever there are applications of steel, coal, plastic, oil means diesel, petrol. I have got my car, there is a traffic signal. I run my car. Should I do it or should I stop it? That's why in automotive we got start, stop, switch. So that is engineering. How do you design a start, stop, switch? So in whatever designing we are doing, whatever construction we are doing, if we see that the carbon is reduced, we are sustainable engineers. Carbon, mostly because of energy, the high intensive energy items. So what is the other way? Reduce energy consumption by not putting lights in the bathroom in the college when they are one way, that is saving. The other way is to use renewable energy which does not create carbon. So renewable energy, solar, that is the importance. When you got solar, how do you maintain the panels? How do you reduce the heat? Do I put a phase changing material below the panel? Because there will be heat of UV radiation. This is all engineering. I will show you. Since I am also in the governing body of Bamboo Society of India, I told you something. To build a, civil engineers are here, raise hands. To make a 1000 SFT building, you require roughly 1 ton steel for slab, beam and columns. Okay. Now bamboo can replace steel reinforcement. How many civil engineers are aware that the tensile strength of bamboo is more than steel? 28,000 psi compared to 23,400 of steel. So treated bamboo is used. I have seen buildings which have cost 50 years of life. Slabs and beams, not cottages. Wherever the loads are medium, wherever there is a semi-urban area, you already got a house but you want to put first floor. Why you want to load your columns with your additional load? Another project, simple. You got coconut shells. You can use it as aggregate in concrete, right? So what are we trying to do? We are introducing biomaterials. Bio means life. The dictionary meaning of bio, B-I-O, is life, living things. Because it is absorbing the energy, holding the energy, and we are using that energy. Instead of taking something from the ground, like lithium, cadmium, iron, one thing is, sustainability definition is we are using that not only for us, for our children. That is what they talk. But since it is engineering topic, I am not going into that philosophy now. I am only telling how do you select the raw materials. What raw materials can be alternative? For these 5, coal, steel, plastic, wood, oil. So we need to understand in an industry, if it is a car maker, how much steel is used. Now bamboo is used as a steering wheel in BMW cars now. Bamboo reinforcement is used in the columns, slabs. China is now building high-speed bullet trains with bamboo winding composites instead of steel, reducing the weight by 60%, light weighting. So light weighting is a wonderful principle to reduce the fuel consumption. Reduce the fuel, coal, steel. So this is the core subject of sustainable engineering, whether you are a mechanical man. So what are we doing in automotive now? We have gone from engines to electrical vehicles. Now we come some, how many computer engineers are here? So that's how it is, I will tell you that. So Okay. Next. I'm just giving you an example because I also happen to be in the bamboo story. How it is one of the powerful sustainable material. Not all, it is one solution. That itself is 10-20 projects are there. I will give 30 projects out of bamboo for mechanical, civil, electrical, everybody. Bamboo, graphite anodes charge faster in lithium ion batteries. How are the electrical people here? Who are electrical people? You can get silica from bamboo. Bamboo silicon carbide is a material which will take high creep resistance and high temperatures in engine designs. Bamboo activated charcoal has a surface area of 900 meters square per gram, high porous material. So where can you use that? That is engineering. So material selection, sustainable material selection is one key area of sustainable engineering. Yeah, start. I am giving you an example.
In early October, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change issued a dire report on the state of our planet. It stressed the urgent need
Bamboo conserves water.
the risks of extreme heat.
You go and hit a bamboo, make a hole, you will get like your coconut water. Go try. So when there is a drought, if bamboo border is there in agriculture farm, it conserves the water in the ground. That comes under sustainable agriculture. We are not talking sustainable agriculture today, we are talking of sustainable engineering. There you can use IoT application in agriculture also. Reduce the cost. Crop problems because of this climate change, crop production is coming down. Because of the pollution, people are dying. Why do we go to temple? Because we believe in a religion. We believe in good things. Like that we should also believe not to throw plastic for putting into a cow's mouth. You get my point? I am not asking all of us will change because we are busy with our work. But whatever is possible. So whatever can we do on engineering on this topic as per the curriculum we can do. Please go ahead.
A part of the solution may be found in a surprising place, bamboo. There are at least 30 million hectares of bamboo in tropical and subtropical areas of the world. Fast-growing and quick to mature, this grass plant is already a staple part of many people's lives and livelihoods as a source of food, fiber, and fuel, which can be used to make thousands of products.
Somebody made a powerhouse in a lake.
Carbon sink, storing
A
more
floating
carbon.
powerhouse. How do you float? You should use. I can't tell. There are so many things I will do. Yeah, go ahead.
Certified tree. This is because it can be harvested regularly, creating a large number of durable products
This
which
is one
store
project,
carbon
bamboo
for
bicycle.
years, as well
Because
as
it
the
will
carbon
absorb
from
shock
the
and
plant
vibration.
itself. These products are long-lasting,
It is
recyclable,
stronger than carbon
and
steel.
contain a variety of emissions-intensive materials such as PVC,
That is what China is
aluminum,
doing.
steel, and concrete. Bamboo is a sustainable source of bioenergy, whether used directly as fuel wood,
Ethanol is produced from bamboo.
heating, or converted into gas for thermal and electrical energy. It can, furthermore, help prevent desertification. Its extensive root systems mean that bamboo binds earth and restores soil health, even in the most desertified landscapes. Finally, bamboo can help communities adapt to the negative impacts of climate change, providing a sustainable year-long source of income and creating flexible, strong, disaster-resilient housing. The International Bamboo and Rattan Organization, INBAR, is an intergovernmental organization which promotes the use of bamboo and rattan for
Nature-based solution, bio.
and green growth. Since its inception in 1997, INBAR's aim has been to help people realize the full potential of bamboo, providing research, on-the-ground projects, and training in areas such as climate-smart agriculture and carbon storage. As bamboo grows throughout the tropics in Africa, Asia, and the Americas, INBAR believes it can provide a significant contribution to combating climate change in the developing world.
Today I saw in the paper use dumb telephones. All smartphones should go away. One of you researchers like you have found a solution of 1 minute charging of a mobile phone now. It has come in the morning CNBC, I saw. Why? Because what is the relevance to sustainability there? All of us are busy with mobile phone, right from a small kid to an old man. Light pollution, you leave it. It is taking our time, our brain. You can refer when you want something for your profession or for your well-being or for your earning. A small kid today, to take him out of addiction is very becoming a big problem in all, I don't know about your students here. So there is what is called dumb telephone, which is not smart. No WhatsApp, no Instagram, no I don't know what is called. So the fellows will not know what to do. At least they will study. So there is a revolution coming from smartphones market into dumb phone market. Cost is reduced. Habits, old good habits are coming back. I just telling you some news what I saw in the TV this morning. Some researcher Anup Gupta has done some work on that. You can refer. See what you should do every day. What is new in our companies? Every day they ask one question. What is new? Not my 40-year back notes I teach. What is new today? What is relevant today? What is happening in industry today? That is why I tell whenever I address engineering students in big gatherings, they should remember 5 years. First year is academics. Second year is activity, doing things. Third one is access. How do I reach Prime Minister and tell my ideas? I can't reach but. Most important thing is awareness. What is, even in your Shastras, that's what they say. We should be aware of what is happening. If we are not aware of what we are, we can't be aware of others. I may be an angry man, but if I don't know I am not an angry man, then there is no point, I can't correct myself. So like that, what is happening in industry? Is it hydrogen? Is it fuel cell? Is it a recycler? Is it a electrolyzer? Is it end of life design? Life cycle analysis? All these are in the curriculum. They are not in your curriculum. So these all come under the category of sustainable engineering. The context is clear. Why a sustainable engineering is required? Because it will get jobs for the boys. It will get international ranking to the college. Because sustainable education and research will have additional 20 points. NIRF ranking also sustainability. NAC ranking also 7.123 of energy audits are there. So that is the benefit for the college management. That is the benefit for the students. And you are talking of a subject which is very potential, emerging in the world. Whether from computer science, what you are doing on sustainability is up to you. How do I reduce fuel consumption with my computer science tool? What is the ERP we can apply? What is the SAP I can apply modules? What is the data points I can collect? How do I get the gap analysis? You have to think about it. And that is what the companies are doing now. Are you with me? Get it? No, wait. We go as per the sequence of the curriculum. So I have set the context for sustainable engineering. Is that clear or not clear? Yes. Set the context means what is sustainable engineering? Why sustainable engineering? What is the benefit to the student, to the college? Interesting thing, if your boys want to go for MS in US, the Biden government has put $300 billion dollars in battery management system, electric vehicles. We are using cadmium, we are using lithium. They are all the materials which are creating problem for recycling. Like your solar panel, what will you do after 25 years? So that becomes a subject. How do I recycle solar panel to different panel? This is sustainable. Projects related to recycling, alternate materials, reducing materials, reducing energy. I will tell you in IoT side, there are 30 projects on that side also. Okay, lead me. Go ahead. Civil engineers, leadership in environment and engineering design. Civil engineers, raise hands. You are all men. Your lead. Go ahead.
Founded in the year 1929, the Dharapal Satyapal Group has made its presence felt in a variety of industry sectors. The group is focused on growth and diversification with an undeterred commitment to high standards in product, reliability and transparency. So, it's no surprise that when the group decided to extend its commitment to sustainability through their own corporate architecture, they pursued their vision using LEED, the world's premier framework for sustainable and healthy building.
The origin and soul of the group has been fragrance and flavors. It has been our endeavor to preserve the natural environment and to conserve the natural resources. This LEED certification has been a validation of our efforts towards the sustainability and environment.
Spread over 13 acres of natural green habitat, the campus has dedicated 51% of the property to landscape, and 26% of the landscape is devoted to native vegetation, which minimizes water usage and other negative environmental impacts. Water conservation is one of DS Group's most important environmental focuses.
We have installed the low flow fixtures in the premises. We have converted our dual flushing system into single flushings, and by doing a number of major projects, we are able to achieve 32% savings in the water consumption.
Water efficiency is enhanced through their sewage treatment plant. DS Group conserves an additional 80 kiloliters per day of water, plus 5 kiloliters per day through their effluent treatment plant. Grey water is then used for gardening. Water is also conserved using rainwater harvesting. DS Group uses 9 underwater tanks with the overall capacity of 3,59,623 liters.
We have achieved the zero discharge scenario in our outdoor water uses. In fact, we have installed a secondary RO plant in the result of primary RO. And again, the result of secondary RO plant is blended into the irrigation tank, thus making it a zero discharge scenario for our outdoor water uses.
DS Group's LEED certified facility addresses energy efficiency with the help of solar panels, which generate 2,63,755 units of electricity in a year.
The long-term goal of the company is to have net zero in terms of power. All our buildings have rooftop solar primarily in NCR region.
To further improve our energy efficiency, an efficient HVAC system was also installed with water-cooled chillers. An ATCS or automatic condenser tube cleaning system is also installed at the chiller plant. Additionally, LED lights and motion sensors that control lighting are fitted in common areas, which further reduce energy use. Waste is also handled judiciously, based on the principle of reduce, reuse and recycle. For recycling, dry and wet waste is segregated. And an in-house organic waste converter converts it into manure, making it a closed-loop system of zero waste for horticulture and food waste.
Well, going beyond the LEED requirements, we have made arrangement of collecting food waste and e-waste from the employees and dispose of in a most eco-friendly manner.
Occupant comfort and health are enhanced through smart building orientation. Ample outdoor views with the use of low VOC materials and extensive use of architectural glass, which ensure maximum daylight while minimizing heat gain or loss. Staff is encouraged to use the company's provided transportation options to minimize carbon dioxide levels. A special parking space is also provided for green vehicles.
Management is very much keen to have the air quality in place.
Since we have the existing building, we have to do a major retrofitment system in our AHUs. We have installed primary and secondary filters. We have used SMART 13, which is one of the best filters, having 99.9% efficiencies, and we are able to achieve the PM 2.5, which is lesser than 50.
DS Group prides itself on building a business based on being sustainable, profitable, and healthy.
We see lead as a triple bottom line proposition, that is people, planet, and profit. That's the reason all our new units are coming up with a LEED certification in mind, and all our existing buildings are being reviewed on sustainability credentials.
To learn more about LEED in India, visit www.gbci.org/India.
I'm just giving you a case and example how people are trying to do in the industry in terms of that. You see, when you use filters, you can use biofilters. As I said, activated carbon. Mostly they are HEPA filters, and we use these activated carbon filters in the cabin filters in the cars, air purification. So we need to take up, if you talk of air purification, what are the various systems available. That examples you should tell to your students, not to reduce pollution, that not in how. Some examples and do a project which I will tell you what things can be done that way. So we go to sustainable constructions now. Just look at the PowerPoint. See, this is IIT Kharagpur, who has built 15 years back. Bamboo, reinforcement, treated bamboo in the slabs, beams and columns. There are buildings several in India. You can't match the size, I can't. Just to give you an idea, IIT Kharagpur. See the beams. See, I went to one place in Andhra, they have done it 40 years back. How that happened is not because of an engineer or civil engineer. He is a lawyer who was living in a coastal area, and all his columns reinforcement was getting rusted. And bamboo was available. Some practical masonry told, sir, you use it, you used it. I went there after 20 years of his construction. 20 years back I went, no, it's 40 years back. And Forest Research Institute, all IFS people are trained, like IAS. 1978 they made a slab, it is still there. Information we don't know. Another interesting thing I should tell you as a project, if you know what is called fiber. Whenever you have got tunnels, tunnel plastering is done with steel fiber reinforced concrete. Fibers are like your hair, like your binding wire. They take small 1-inch length and mix it in concrete so that the lining is reinforced. In tunnel, civil engineers. Okay. Then Reliance came out with what is called synthetic fibers, nylon fibers. Now we are going to next step, bio, no chemical fiber, bamboo fiber which is stronger than synthetic fiber. Yesterday, some of my friends they have sent me, there is one village in Kerala, there is one bamboo he takes, they make that bamboo into fiber by hitting fiber, and they are giving it as a garland to that Ishwara god there. So I called that man and I said, there is a research finding, validated, 5% by weight, bamboo fiber mixed in cement by weight will increase the strength as a reinforcement, and it will reduce the brittleness and cracks in cement concrete for flooring. So one structural engineer in Calcutta, he was doing private work and he got an order for a baseball, basketball flooring. He mixed it and he did it, structural engineer. So, all this bamboo, if you can get fiber. Then my question is how to get fiber from bamboo. So one Malaysian gentleman, what he did was, like your sugar cane crushing in the road. So he used wet the bamboo for 2 days, then in sodium hydroxide, it became soft, and he was putting into that sugar machine and taking fibers out. So how to take fiber from bamboo could be a project. Then checking the compressive strength is a project. It is what is called bamboo leaf ash. Bamboo contains high silica content. The BLA, if you mix in concrete, your compressive strength will go by 8%. Test it, it becomes a project. When the load becomes better, you can have safety loads. Brake. Yeah. Let me complete this. Good. A good brake manager will interfere. Now we call a brake manager. I don't know whether you know it or not. There is a designation called brake manager in our industry. I'm sure you are. Just have a quick look at it. See this. How a slab has to be made, civil engineers. See that? See, you are talking of sustainable construction. I am giving you that. Next. See, an engineer himself is doing. Next. You require official certification, no? Maharashtra government approving the code. Now you see this, when building completed also you see. Next. That is the building. Next. That is the final building. Next. You know that footing. Next. 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 You save the wall thickness. You save the load. You cut down the cost 50%. What more you want? Next. 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 Yeah, road making. Instead of your grid. Rural roads. Next. Women doing. Different models. Next. Jointing. Next. This is what I told you. Oxygen generated out of bamboo, 35.2% oximeter. In one university, they put in the library. I will tell you interesting thing. Library, outdoor library study point. Bamboo produces negative ions. Every tree produces negative ions. More positive ions are called disease. That's why you call COVID positive and all. So more negative ions will calm down your mind. Low BP, calm to study. So if you are in a library, put 4 plants in your house and sit a chair and see. Measure the ions if you got an ion meter. These are the things of sustainability. That is very university. See that? What cost? It will no cost at all. Retaining walls. That is done by Nitte. You are in Bangalore. We break for tea. Now after tea we are going to discuss. If it has not gone here,
please come back after 5 minutes.
After that we will go for recycling. It is not for me, you have to take this to the students. Ultimately you should go into detail of each and make a big name in India. Nitte University doing something fantastic. There are so many awards if you really do it. Government of India, that is what your management wants. Concerned people are here or are they gone? Your whole purpose is that. the material outside casing into more degradable. Reduce plastic. There are what are called EPR regulations in the government now. You need to take care of the plastic, not only reduction, but at the end, it is in your design we call birth to cradle. That's all design thinking. Now, this is interesting thing you should know. I will repeat on. I am talking on Center of Excellence on Sustainability. All these faculties come into play of a Center of Excellence. It's not current topic, but I am just giving you an idea. Next. Why? Because ESG, the afternoon speaker will tell you what is he doing in Adani Power House. But just to give you an idea, I am just telling you this. I told you in my opening talk that ESG is mandated in the industry for 1,000 big companies. So if you know as an engineer, if you are open elective, or projects, or Center of Excellence this topic more, you are a wanted man. I mean, you are students or whatever. See this. The DD in all MSME companies is now compulsory because zero effect, zero defect. Zero effect is no environmental impact. Zero defect is zero body, zero defect. Next. Anyway, this is about the management topic. Next. Yeah, look at the curriculum. On ESG we are talking. Next. Look at this. This will be next step. This will be next step. Yes. See that. Curriculum for ESG. Next. That is how important topic is the sustainability now. Next. No, go back. Go back. Next. These are the areas. You can get into any company, where sustainability is talked about today. If you don't know what is, first of all, you should know what is the company, what are they making, what are their risks. Okay. The latest thing is there is what is called a battery passport. They developed Volvo company from last week in London. What is the battery passport? That means the materials used from raw materials in the battery, where they are produced, how much is that, how much energy it has consumed. Now if you look at a company like ANSYS, you know ANSYS. ANSYS, what they have done is, they have developed a tool. If you tell me this is my washer, how much energy it has consumed to produce. So if you select, instead of 2 washers, if you are selecting 4 washers, you are increasing your in the manufacturing. So instead of using a metal washer, one of my student, as in Mahindra research girl, she developed a bamboo washers, bamboo composite washers to reduce the vibration. Washer. So how do you use the composites is the important issue there. Next. Anyway, these are all figures of industries today on ESG scores. Next. This is Honeywell. Next. This is a very important thing, you know, what they count in global initiative, reporting initiative, GRI. He is going to tell you in the afternoon about his company, the gentleman who is coming. But these are the topics he has to look into all this. What is the GHG emission intensity? How do you measure it through your computer science? IBM has developed tools. SAP has got. In ERP we are getting the data points and the current status of what is the energy level. You should have a goal, you should know where we are, then we should know how to do it. First of all, you should know what is the current level of energy. So the student will understand that there is a data point, there is energy consumption, there is emission coming up, there is a material wastage. These are all the topics. So the company will get benefited by reducing their cost. Why company is doing is, if they follow like your interest ranking score, NIRF or NAC score, company has got a sustainability score. If they got score, then the money investors are going to put money. In Europe and Germany, the student will not join a company if they don't have ESG score. It is going on for years. Now India has taken it as a rule. It's a government rule, mandate. So you must prepare your students for ESG, sustainable engineering in terms of materials, alternate materials, substitutes, process. Like you talked about, I asked the other day, there are no, oh sorry. ESG means environment, social and governance. Environment means environment impact. So that is a risk. If I do more impact, tomorrow my reputation will go away. See, I'll give you one example, classic example. When you go to Chennai, Ranipet will come. I don't know if you know the place. Ambur, Ranipet will come. There are a lot of leather industries. There, you have to close your doors when you go in the train. Sulfur dioxide, all this is coming. That is the pollution. So I asked the CLRI, Leather Institute director, what are you doing? Then Pollution Control Board man is telling, anything smell above this level is not in the rule. So we are throwing and making people suffer. That is the overall pollution. Air pollution, noise pollution, sound pollution, water pollution, light pollution. We are doing every day. That is why dumb telephones are going to come now in the market. Smart telephones are, this is today CNN news. Dumb telephones means ordinary simple telephones. No more Instagram. Don't get scared. This day is not very important. Next. Okay. ESG means environment, social. What is social? It will come. Next. These are the things you are.
What is governance?
Governance is the management. In my board of management team, how many ladies, how many men, which caste, as per rules or not, whether there is a corruption or not, whether there is a welfare activity or not, this is all management story. So that is why a day should come, your MBA guys will come into sustainable engineering. Law people will come because the environment law, labor law, Consumer Protection Act. If I make a wrong product in my company, in the industry, I would call it back. Isn't it? If I make a tablet which people are going to die, what will happen? My company will be closed. That is called risk. Risk analysis. SAP is very good in analyzing the risks. So big topics. So go slow by slow, one by one. Next. Basics of sustainability and ESG. These are fundamentals. Anyway, the gentleman will cover whatever is power company is concerned. Next. Over. So now we go to the other topic. We have done recycling. We have done give you an idea of ESG to you. Okay. We talked on lead to you today. We talked on several topics today of your curriculum. We talked on sustainability constructions for the benefit of civil engineers. We talked on the design issues. Okay. Now we will talk on LCA, which is a very important topic. Session 2, please. Yeah. Look at this. LCE is life cycle engineering. That means what engineer can do to life cycle. Life cycle is what? Cradle to grave and beyond grave. We will take a case study. LCC is asset management. Suppose I build this building as Nitte management. After some time what will happen? It will deteriorate. So what is the repair cost for me? So what is the cost for this 40 years building? Total cost is I have to calculate. So what is it we are doing the tool for us? Example, predictive maintenance. What are we doing? I have a motor in the factory. It has got a bearing. We know bearing life is so much. How do I predict when it will fail? You know, predictive maintenance, I don't know. So the data, all that matters. So this is all called what is called asset management. So asset management is to do. That is our costing. That is LCC. And most of all the three, the most important thing in sustainability is LCA, life cycle assessment. Life cycle assessment is nothing but environmental impact of what you are doing. One man told, I was using 4 burgers in America. 4 burgers to make, how much fuel I have to use, electricity, baking, so I will use only 2. So I am saving my carbon, and there is what is called individual carbon credits. I am going by car, but if I go in a 2 people together in a car, the total petrol is saved for 4 people by 2. So there is what is called carbon measurement. And at the end in US they calculate and get money at the end in the bank. I am using 10 bulbs, I will use only 4 because I don't want to simply put bulbs. I will only go when I enter. So you got a sensoring. So sensoring IoT is a key thing in a factory. Now they are applying vision cameras to avoid all idle cycles in the factory. Idle cycle is a cycle which does not produce any result. Chumne, it will keep on jumping without producing anything. So if you go to a factory, all this we will come to know when your boys go to the factory. What are you doing in ESG? What are you doing in sustainability? Olden days the sustainability word was called EHS in industry. Environment, health and safety. The gentleman who is coming today is also EHS expert. Now it has gone to a level of ESG now. It's a very important topic, you need to go into detail. You get so much of research topics. Like I told you, bamboo in construction for reinforcement for example. Okay. I have seen in Africa, there is a cold room made without power. They are making a cold room with beams. What they have done, they have put hollow walls. In the hollow wall, they have put activated charcoal. Because charcoal has a surface area of 900 meters square per gram. It holds water. So for evaporative cooling it is working, and they are able to keep the beans for 15 days. Why don't you apply this in milk cans if you want as a project? The fellows are bringing cans from the house cow. You are carrying in the can now. But suppose summer 46 degrees. One way is to use the zeolite material. There are different materials. Another way is to do charcoal. The 90% of charcoal manufacturing in the country is from coconut shells. But bamboo activated charcoal is far, far superior compared to the porosity. It is the porosity that is doing the game. As a civil engineer, mix charcoal in cement concrete and see what happens to your, what do you call it, curing. It holds water. So every day you don't have to pour that falls down. You get my point? The several projects like this you should do and validate it and then publish the papers on that. Like I told you, fiber. I will give you one example. In Bangalore, recently there was 2 people died because of the electrical cords. Because of crack. So if you reinforce the concrete, the crack brittleness will come down. You follow me? Any engineer understand, not only civil engineers. So I told that CEO, that is the chairman of the Bangalore person, what happened is, this cable TV fellow was going in this thing and he pulled that wire. All wires are connected to electrical poles. There is a crack in the bottom, so it fell down. So live wire fell down, and 2 people died in Bangalore. It became a big news in Bangalore. Then I knew some minister, so I told, somehow he came on, chairman came on, and otherwise nobody will call to answer your call. So I told, why don't you mix some fiber inside? As I told you earlier, steel fiber is used in tunnel plastering. Then Reliance is making synthetic fibers. Now I am talking of a biomaterial. Bio means life. Bio means life. The dictionary meaning of BIO means life. So plant is a life material. So if the plant has got the mechanical parameters and characteristics, we should make use of it as much as possible. Because you know the material, characteristics, application, then that will be substituting material form. So reduce coal, reduce steel, reduce oil, reduce plastic and reduce wood. I hope the message is clear. Okay. Now, in LCA what we do is, raw material acquisition point onwards you should start. That means, what is the environment impact in selecting a raw material and digging from earth or where from we are digging? What is the energy loss? What is the carbon output? Is this clear? Next, wait. Manufacturing. The LCA is a very important subject which you have to go as much detail as possible when you teach. Manufacturing. In manufacturing, what happens is a process. You collect, take it from here to there. Why are we talking about drones? Because I speak sustainability in drones. Why? Now you take a vehicle and carry something for a tomato. Right? Instead of that, I want a drone and deliver it. Drone deliveries are happening now. Drone medical deliveries are happening. From here there is a building on the top of the hill. I have to send my cement. As long as the payload is possible, I send my material from here there. Instead of my driving all the way to go and give the cement back there. So drone is a very big topic. I don't know who are here connected with drones here. Aerospace.
Robotics and AI.
So these are all manufacturing process which you should look at. Then O&M use, operational maintenance is one of the fundamental job of an engineer. Ordinary fellow is the only operating fellow. Maintenance is second level fellow. But problem solvers are the real fellows. There is a problem. I am consuming 100 units of energy. Can I do it at 80? If you find a solution, if you build, if you give, unless he comes, he doesn't solve. He is the problem solver actually. Today we were nowhere in the morning, correct? You could not see any video. How many videos I showed you? We need such people. Whoever it is, no personalities. We want people who can act, who can initiate, who can do things. That's what we do in industry. Just like there is a saying, I told you about 5 A's which are important.
Can you please keep your mobile aside? I think that is the
So you have become the problem solvers. Thank you for that idea. So creating solutions is important. Okay? Creating solutions. So to create a solution, you require a problem. What is the problem for Karkala? Write down. Example, I asked this question when I attended QSAT or somebody in Kerala. They said water, flood. So have you mapped the ground? Government. So don't touch the government part of it. Whatever we can find solutions as engineers, let's do that. Okay? Recycle. I think I told you. Why are we recycling? Because a human being, we are born on the ground. And we go back to the ground, cycling, right? So, recycling is, circularity means It is a part of waste story. No waste, zero waste. You go to SAP slogan, and SAP slogan is zero waste. Go through you study, you all know about SAP modules. Waste management is the most important thing, Like I have 200 shirts, it will be there, never use it. At least somebody else who doesn't have a shirt. More I buy, more water is used for that. Okay? See, the problem, what Swamiji told me, is not useless. Somebody said he is useless. So Swamiji told me, not useless, the problem is useless. That's the problem. Okay? And that is waste management here. Bag and throw, bottle, throw. And going into cows. That is why recycling. You have seen the video? You have to imbibe this as a culture, as a religion. See, unless you have a passion to do that, like I told you, people don't go to cardiologist unless he gets an attack. No, not for me, That's why the last year I told you, academics, activity, awareness, access. The last year which is important for everybody is attitude. One attitude is, nobody does, how can I do? Another attitude is, nobody does, I will only do. That is the difference. You get my point? It is related to waste actually. It is a consciousness. Why we are talking in industry today? Because they want to reduce the cost, profit, business. See, the problem is industry and institute. I have been in MHRD for 3 years on industry institute. They don't come together. Off the record I am telling you. Industry thinks colleges are theoretical people. And colleges think industry fellows are business fellows. This is why this is not coming together. But in US it is not like that. So if you now take into industry, study what the problems are there, put a thinking cap at least in operation, normal level, maintenance, second level, then creative level. See, I think I told in my conference also last time when I came, when I got a job in Tata 50 years back, in the interview they asked me one question. Tell me how you are useful to us. This is my question, no engineering question. Something I said I got a job, that's a different thing. But the question is, if you are not useful, you are not there. And that is what the industry is expecting from you. They don't want just a person who will switch motor on and off. If the motor fails, like my friend, he solved us. He made it, otherwise we would not have. Sorry, no offense to you. Take it easy. We should take easy when we don't. We are not.
He's the owner of this.
In a lightweight, we don't mistake it. Next. Look at this LCA, please go to the very details. What is the environmental impact? See that, you will understand. Ocean acidification is a very big subject in the US now. So many people have built big companies. If you know what is ocean acidification, tomorrow you can ask your boys to apply for a job there. I am not going how to do it onshore, offshore, what are the ways and means. You know, some big ocean cleaning things are now available in the market. So designing of a ocean cleaner, how do you do that? You require a belt, you require this, you require that. You should be able to take so much of speed inside. These are all the engineering design considerations. You take a topic of a problem, work on it. Give a problem to the student. First let him understand what is sustainability. Otherwise nobody knows what is sustainability. They will think something. Please. Okay? This is very clear. Water, pH in water is a very important topic. Next. lot of people are asking, what computer people, what are we to do in only civil engineers have to do? Civil engineering can't do everything, no? You also have to do. Data analytics are so important today. First of all, if you want to be a data analytics man, you should have domain experience first. You should know what is civil engineering, what is mechanical engineering. Otherwise, what do you analyze the data out of them? So if you want core engineering to come up, sustainability is going to become a big link. Because they will get jobs. You see various companies, advertisements on sustainability, you know what it is. How to put a sensor for moisture, all your job now. You have to see. I won't give you all that. But all this is available. I am giving it to you. So there is nothing I am taking from you. Please, you should review this, understand it, and if you want anything on a webinar or something, we can answer your questions. If you are not having questions now, and you can read them. Next. You see some problems for AI and sustainability. Next. Because you are all talking AI, no? We have enough problems for you. So we discussed on LCA, we discussed on recycling. Okay. Session 2 you have covered briefly. I think we will discuss this projects you have. Mechanical and people want to principal want to projects meeting, mechanical and civil. So there is what is called 3 R's, all of you know. What are 3 R's? Anybody will raise their hand and tell? I am only talking. What are 3 R's? Come on the right way. I can hear your voice separately, I am only talking.
Reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce, reuse and recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Now there are 2 more R's I will tell you in a lighter vein or a refuse. Why? Because if somebody gives me 4 coffees, my acidity problem is there. More coffee I drink without requiring. Milk is waste. Waste management. I have already got 100 shirts there. Somebody goes and gives me a present for another 5 shirts. What will I do? What will I do? Refuse. Apply this. It can be in time, it can be somebody is busy. Oh, come, what are you doing? Let us go there. You are very busy on something. Refuse. Nicely. So that is one waste management story. Then what is called Red Cross? Can somebody tell me what is the Red Cross in our learning the habit of giving away to others? More you have, give. That's what equity. The man who doesn't have will get. But everything I only want to keep 20 crore property, what is the use? At the end only 6 feet, no? I'm not doing that. No love. Everybody has to do this. So what is the point in accumulating? Oh, I get 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore, what? You can't even eat 1 meal. So this is a topic you give to somebody which cost is more and they come back with a study report or research report. Generally costing more or less. I will give you so many examples of contribution by sustainable materials.
Collection is the problem. Collection of waste.
No, I was giving you an example of ISRO chairman. They were using for Oxygen concentrators we imported lakhs during COVID. Denominally lithium zeolite. It can be reduced, it can be replaced with a composite material. Any composite material will reduce. In composite, natural resin is cheaper than the hazardous chemical. For example, all coffee waste is a resin material. You know, coffee waste. And you know, what is it? Cashew. You are doing Orissa. Then binding materials. So these will reduce the cost. That means innovation. Start. Build this culture in students. Not just organize them. No, you can't escape.
Regarding the life cycle analysis. So for example, we can use a new material. We want to recycle new material. I have to go for the certain treatment process. For that I need to spend some energy to convert into ash or nanoscale, whatever it is. So we have so many softwares on life cycle analysis like Semapro and all. Okay, but they do have the data for already established materials, not for the newest material. Now, how can we go with
Good
that?
question. I have introduced sustainability in a big automotive SAE with the Baha competition. So I was giving a talk to all SAE, to people who are making the vehicles. Then they have tied up with the ANSYS. ANSYS got only the data for the metal, A to Z, no bamboo there. So they have now said we will work on it. So if the data is not available for energy consumption of any material, you have to work on it. Like we are working on hydrogen now. So it is not established so far. So now all these fellows are jumping into this game now. So sustainable materials come. The data about that is also equally important in terms of decarbonization. It will come. Not come, it will come. I have faced the same problem.
Respect to that data collection, there may be a huge uncertainty associated with that. Then how can you say that the predicted model or the predicted life cycle analysis model may be reliable?
No. Today our job is to know where we are. We don't know where we are. Most of us we don't know what is sustainability. So once we know where to reach. How an innovation will come, a research problem has to be handled. For example, to the Director General of CSIR, I gave seven topics. Madam, I know you know her. So they have to work. That is why the research organizations are there. Unknown information has to be taken. So if you don't have information, you send a mail to those fellows. Let them come back, let them spend money. But companies won't spend money for proof of concept. Everything ready they want to do. So that is where the institution they will do. They also are business people, they know what to do. I don't know what to do. Everybody is like that. Anything really not clear you ask.
Yes.
Don't ask a question just for asking me.
No, this is
Because
really.
really, if you don't ask a question, I understand that you understood everything or not understood. You decide what you want.
This is really regarding computer department. So how exactly is sustainability in terms of project or research work? How I would like to get any real case studies that you know from your experience.
Case study will come from your next level when you go to EHG, bringing industry fellows. Today one man is coming.
Oh.
I am also industry man for 45 years, but I have so many research innovations to my credit. But I don't want to tell you and confuse you. Example, AI,
Yeah.
machine learning, whatever is the topic, predictive maintenance, it is done on what? What is the data? You should ask for it. So your industry connection, this will become an excuse to bring industry fellows here. That is my effort.
Sir, but you are giving the list tomorrow. Under computer science projects and also that.
No, that is okay. AI I am talking. I am talking AI only because that is the name of the game today. AI in health is there, ma. AI in eye checkup is there. Because the problem, there is a problem in AI now. Practitioner fellows won't want to listen to that. Doctor, if you go, they say, I can get your retina picture just like this through AI. In 5 seconds, I got it done in BOSCH. Prime Minister came to BOSCH for that. We got what is called your computer sensor. Fundus camera. Fundus camera can click your eye and tell your retinal health. It is done by Microsoft and BOSCH. I am involved in that. But when I go to an eye doctor, big man, they are not very happy. You are going to give solution where I am. And they are also right in their own way. That is experience, this is your technology. So that is why your digital world is coming now, everything is transparent. Transparency is one of the topic in ESG.
Sir, with respect to what example you gave, eye doctors, but those technology will come out as a, inputs from the experienced doctors.
No, that is your way, you are making reference points, no. In the cloud you are keeping all things, no. If this is matching that, you say that is this is the reason, no.
True, but for all those things, doctors' input should be there, no sir, like only based on...
that has been done. For example, when Bosch invented this, they went to everybody in the world. I forget that Pennsylvania University, a very famous one, referral point. They have done all that. It takes years to find out that. You can't get a biomedical instrument because it's very, very important in human health. So you are talking about data.
Data, yeah.
Valid data.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. If doctors are unhappy, you said.
Off the record, you see.
True, sir.
Don't spread anything. I'm just understand. Maybe there are some big doctors like Arunji will say, yes, it is good. He is a technical man. But the doctor is a medical man, no. Suppose he doesn't get his, then you are taking away his, you will open a shop tomorrow and test everybody for 5 rupees. The doctor, 1,000 rupees is gone, no? Don't mistake. Later when I am telling.
Yeah.
So everybody has got personal interest. See, olden days, before software came, everybody has to write in the attendance register. Even everybody. So I will write after, I won't go to the college, but I will sign there. But now you can't do without entering, no? So this is the issue now, technology versus... I don't want to say in some offices, people go for tea and they never come back. I don't know whether it's true or not. So this is another rigging.
Sir, you are